Hello and welcome to yet another episode of The High Roads. I'm Ashwin and I'm exploring Sasan Gir National Park in Gujarat, the only place in India which is a home to 670 plus Asiatic lions. I was accompanied by my friend Anand and we joined a group called the Western Routes, founded by Jayesh Paranjape. If you have been watching and enjoying our videos, do not forget to subscribe to our channel, like our videos and click on the bell icon to get notification. We took an early morning flight from Pune to Ahmedabad, and after a delicious Gujarati breakfast at the Iscon Ghatiya, we began our drive down to Gir National Park. While driving through Rajkot, we were amazed to see two things. One, people stuck in traffic were making their own way out, and an indigenous invention of a motorized three-wheeler called the chakado. We made it just in time to the national park entrance for our afternoon safari. With no sleep at all the previous night and an 8-hour long drive from Ahmedabad, we were very tired but excited for our very first safari. Within the first 20 minutes into the safari, we spotted an elusive leopard napping. All our tiredness and fatigue disappeared. While we are watching the leopard and clicking pictures, a sambar walks by, totally unaware of the leopard in the vicinity. We were all excited and getting ready for some action. You will be surprised to see what happened next. Dear Nikon, when I put my camera on the bird mode with autofocus, I expect it to focus on the bird. Just kidding. I did manage to take some wonderful pictures. You must be familiar with this phrase in Hindi. जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने देखा? Well, we did. He put on this remarkable show to woo his lady, who seemed to be more interested in eating. We had to drive away in search of lions, but I sure hope his effort was as fruitful as our safari. Soon enough, the wait was finally over. Lions in the wild. To be accurate, a lioness with her two sub-adult cubs resting by the waterhole. All that remains now is to see a lion, and the purpose of this entire trip is served. Again? Another sambar, or is it the same one? I sure hope not. This time, they were both staring at each other. What? Really? Now a lion?
You are
I
now
sure
in
should
the
have asked
presence
for
of
$1 million. Informally, this male is named Tilia
king.
based on the marking on his forehead.
You are now in the presence of a
As he walked past our jeep and sat down against the evening sun, his golden mane, the royal look, and his fearless attitude reminded us that he indeed is the king of the forest.
You are now in the presence of a king.
And of course, it was time for us to go back to our man made world. I mean, our hotel. A very fruitful and wonderful end of day one safari. We couldn't have asked for more. While we were waiting on this small bridge, hoping to sight something, guess who decided to casually walk out from underneath the bridge? Our own Tilia from the previous evening, who was resting under the bridge all along.
You are now in the presence of a king. You are now in the presence of a You are now in the presence of a
ये तो बनाया हुआ ब्रिज है धूल मिट्टी से, बहुत सालों पहले 1959 में बनाया हुआ है। इतना मैन पावर लगा हुआ है, देखिए ये।
The view from top of the watchtower at the Kamleshwar Dam was breathtaking. But it was quite a task climbing all the way up at 44 degrees Celsius. And just before the end of the safari, we drove past our familiar friend Tilia, who was resting under the shrubs. As we started our afternoon safari, we were not surprised to see Tilia, who was still lazing around under the shrubs where we left him last. During this safari, we took a route surrounded by many private farms right in the middle of the forest. We lost all hopes of sighting a lion. But as soon as we crossed the African village or the settlement, surprise, surprise, we spotted a lioness. The next morning, we started really early to visit Sri Somnath Temple, one of the Jyotirlings. The temple is only 45 minutes drive from where we were staying, or rather the safari gate, and we were back just in time for a quick breakfast at a street side joint before we got into the safari. The morning safari was a bit of a disappointment in terms of big cat sighting, but we had an entertainer for a guide in our safari jeep who claimed to be the next Salim Ali. But we did see another peacock dance, a pied cuckoo, a jungle nightjar, and an Indian star tortoise. That afternoon was our last safari, and it started with sighting two lion brothers. We sighted a lioness sitting on top of a hillock, and it was quite a sight. Our last safari couldn't have ended without saying goodbye to our dear friend Tilia. I felt he was as sad as I was to say goodbye. On our way back, we stopped by to see Mohabbat Singh ka Maqbara. Before we end, let me introduce you to the place where we stayed. Gir Lion Safari Camp is situated right across the Hiran River. We stayed in a cottage which is basic but decent and clean. The food is good and the service is delightful. The buffet spread is limited but mostly tasty. Non-vegetarian food is not usually part of the buffet spread but is served on the table upon request. We had a wonderful stay. We were returning home with a treasure of memories to stay with us for a lifetime.